Well, hi, welcome back. We're going to continue talking about this problem number 24 with our friend Sarah here, who is flying from Geneva to London. In part A, we completed the tree diagram, so now I've got my tree diagram to work with. So now I'm going to look at part B, which asks me to find the probability that Sarah takes a direct flight and her baggage arrives. Okay, so for part B, okay, find the probability that Sarah takes a direct flight and her baggage arrives. All right, what's the key word in this sentence that's going to help us out the most? Can you spot it? We talked about it in the previous videos. It's this word "and" right here, because this tells me what the math to use is. So do you remember when you see the word "and", what math operation are we going to have to use? Do you remember? We talked about it in previous videos. It's going to be multiply. So I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to write out, so I'm going to leave a blank space here. I'll fill that in just a minute. So I need a direct flight. Looks like a D, but we're going to make that a direct. And baggage arrives. I'm going to abbreviate this because I'm lazy like that. All right. Direct flight and baggage arrives. So using probability notation, this is going to be a direct flight and baggage arrives. Okay? So let's fill this in. Well, what's the probability that Sarah takes a direct flight? Well, this is where my tree diagram is going to come in. Which branch is going to get me to a direct flight? Well, up here to direct flight, what's the probability we had to go through? 0.8. So the probability of a direct flight is going to be 0.8. And then we just said this magical little word "and" means multiply. Now I want to know the probability that the baggage arrives. Well, I took a direct flight. I need direct flight and the baggage arrives. I need both of these things happening. So I go up to direct flight, and then from direct flight, where am I going to go? Up to baggage arrives. And what's the probability that I had to go through? I had to go through the probability of 0.99. So arrives is going to be 0.99. So all I'm going to do is multiply these two things together. And when I do that, I believe we get 0.792. You can check me. I've been known to make mistakes, but I'm pretty sure that's what we get. Now, one thing I will say, in some of the previous videos, I've swapped back and forth between fractions and decimals. Generally speaking, if your probabilities are given to you in fractions, usually you leave things in fractions. If your probabilities are given to you in decimals, usually you leave things in decimals. So I'm going to leave this probability of direct flight and arrive. So I'm going to leave this like that. I'm not even going to mess with fractions. And that is my answer for part B. So now, take a look at part C. Give it a try. Try it on your own. And then if you want to check your work or if you get stuck, the next video, I will help you out with part C.